Every day when I get home from work, my son asks me what the highlight of my day was. And typically, the highlight of my day is a story about some knucklehead who got into it over something stupid or somebody I had to kick off a train or something. But today's highlight was it was something completely different. Like, it sincerely touched me. And that's not something that I take lightly. I don't say things like that very often, but this touched me. Now, I kind of wrestled with how I wanted to approach this subject because I was also dealing with something else. I passed this test for regional transit, and from there, I now have an interview, which again is pretty much the foregone conclusion that the job is mine. I mean, it's really just a formality at this point, but it's good news nonetheless. But instead of being happy, I've been remaining skeptical. It's like I don't deal with what if, I deal with what is. And right now, it's labeled an interview. It's just an interview. There's no need to think it's anything more than that. And Kari said something to me that stuck out to me. And he was like, hey man, good shit on your interview. And I was like, we'll see how it goes. And he says, can't you just be happy? Can't you just accept that good things are happening? And I was like, we'll see. And I know he didn't mean nothing by it, but I had been wrestling with that. Like, can't I just be happy? Can't I say that good things are happening in my life? I went from my dream job to a promotion in my dream job. And now, even now that my dream job is coming to an end, I'll be in the exact same field with the company that I'm contracted to work for right now. So it's not like my dream job will end. It's just my dream job will be under another umbrella and it'll be a little different. So can I just be happy? I even wrestled with the idea of, well, am I broken? Is there something in me that just won't let me be happy? And I kind of wrestled with that today. And that's the downside of having a job where for 40 plus hours a week, I'm just sitting and I'm alone with my own thoughts. I was wondering, am I broken in some way? But I digress. Today, the highlight was I got a call about a visually impaired young lady who was going to need help getting from the train to her bus. I said, okay, cool. Typically, when you think of a visually impaired person, you get a call like that, I think of an old lady in a walker. Or, there's something, she's like older. But I get there and this girl, really pretty girl, early 20s, just blind. I would later find out through conversation with her that she had been blind her whole life. So it's not like she missed being able to see. She was just blind. So I'm standing at the platform. I see her. I offer her my arm and we're walking and we're talking. And it's literally just small talk. Hey, how's it going today? Hey, how's the weather? Oh yeah, it's warm, not too hot, not too cold. It's been a really nice day. She's like, how long you been doing this? And it's like, oh, it's been a while. She's like, you like your job? I'm like, yeah. I really do like my job. So I get her to the bus stop, and the bus isn't here yet. So I'll wait with her for a few minutes because she's not going to know which one is hers. So a few minutes go by. We're just making small talk. And through the conversation, I find out her name is Erin. And she's been blind her whole life. And sometimes she just needs a little bit of help. I was like, okay, I can accept that. And, I'm happy to help. So the bus pulls up. And from there, I was like, hey, do you need help getting on? She says, yeah, could you please? So I help her on. I escort her to her seat. I help her sit down. She's got like this disabled pass that you have to show the driver. So I take that from her. I go up to the driver. I show it to him. It checks out. I walk back to give it to her. And it's like, well, here you go, ma'am. Like I do typically with everybody else. Safe travels. Have a good evening. And she reached out and she touched my face. You know how like blind people do to get a feel for you? So she's touching on my face. And she says, you're really handsome. I say, oh, well, thank you very much. Like, that means a lot. You didn't have to say that. Like, wow, that was really sweet of you. So she says, your father is really proud of you. And I go, wow, thank you. That's really sweet of you. My father passed away, many years ago now, at this point, many years ago. But thank you so much. She's just, I know. I was just like, wow, that's, look, I don't attribute anything supernatural to that. Do I think she was in contact with my father or anything like that? I don't get down on those. But here was a young lady who couldn't see, who has lived her entire life in darkness and had every reason to be angry and bitter with the world, called me attractive. She's like, you're very handsome. And she touched my face. I wasn't in any way offended. I didn't was like, oh my God, where your hands been is dirty. It was really nice. And for her to say that my father was proud of me, it was like, it was really nice. Like, usually the highlight of my day is roughing somebody up or removing somebody from a train or, some silly person who I have to recite the rules to. This was literally just a highlight. Here was a young lady who just felt like I went above and beyond the call of duty for her, and she was just like, thank you. And it meant a lot. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how that moved me. Like, I'm not afraid to tell you I teared up a little bit. I thought that was really sweet. I'm going to keep that with me for a long time. Long after this job has come and gone, I'm going to keep that moment with me because it meant something. It was really sweet of her to say that. Like, you didn't have to do that. Yeah, but I guess from her line of thinking, I didn't have to go above and beyond with her. I could have just walked her over to the bus, hurried her along, not really hold a conversation with her. Just, all right, here, let's got to get you here. All right, I got to go. I got other stuff to do. But it was just like, we had just genuine conversation. And she was a really sweet person. That it just really touched me. I'm going to keep that. Now, as far as me being broken, I just think that I'm too literal with my realism. Like, things are looking up. Like, my life has been sunshine and teddy bears for months now. And I go home every night to a beautiful woman and a reasonably intelligent young man. And my life has been good. My relationship with my mother-in-law is great. My relationship with Asia's brother and sister, fantastic. Like, everything's just been going so well. I just need to take a few minutes to smell the roses, I guess. And today, dealing with Aaron, it was just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with stopping and just smelling the roses and enjoying the scenery. I needed that.